We've got Super Mick Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. Tavares at the back, Eddie in attack. We're on our way to Europa League. All together now. We've got Super Mick Arteta. You absolute wrong-uns. Oh, dear. Formal apology settings. Is that the title of the stream?
Yeah, I mean... Listen.
You're in the mud, mate.
I am. It's not mud. It's quicksand. It is quicksand that I am in today. There is no doubt about it. Viewers, we are going to be having a full-on Arteta out debate. We're going to be looking at Saka. Has he been overused along with the other youngsters? And the future of Arsenal with Ten Hag, Conte in the league, Newcastle's money coming through. We're going to be delving into all of it. But I have heard a rumour that you want an apology from me. Is that correct? In fact, I say rumor. I say heard a rumor. I'll play it.
Yeah, a written apology. I want a written apology. Yeah, a written apology. You better make it good as well. I want love hearts and kisses and everything on it, mate. Yeah, yeah. I told you, man. Antonio Conte. If you can't see what Arteta's doing, mate, you can fuck off down the lane. Well, they got a proper manager, mate.
Look, let me just get my paper here. Let me just get this out. So, dear Lee, I would like to formally apologise to you live on the Football Terrace Straight Facts podcast, Tuesday, the 17th of May, for suggesting that the improvements at Arsenal were sustainable. I would also like to apologise for raising my voice to you at any time during those conversations, as I did become exceedingly frustrated at your takes about your own football club, Arsenal. I concede defeat on this debate. The improvement that I saw wasn't sustainable, and the Mikel Arteta conversation must happen again. Lee, I, on behalf of everybody at the Football Terrace, want to wish you all the best for the future. The fact that you've trended twice in 2 weeks when Arsenal have lost is a testament to your undivided dedication and passion that you hold for your football club. Not wanting your team to win should not just be looked at as you being a fake fan and told to piss off down the lane, but in fact, maybe the tough love that Arsenal Football Club and many other high-level clubs that are run poorly should undertake. You, Lee, are a true fan of Arsenal Football Club, a pioneer of YouTube, and I, Terry Fleurs, am sincerely sorry for questioning you on the Arteta out debate. Is that good enough?
You missed it. I love you, but I'll accept it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Did you actually seriously write that?
Yeah, it's just funny. Someone's gonna be like, I can't believe Terry. It's a bit of a joke. Like it's satire. But yes,
Yeah,
so I'll put that down. But mate, listen, I have to say, and I am going to go to you.
Listen, can I just say one thing before you say anything?
Go on.
If we beat Everton and they lose to Norwich, I'm in hiding.
Mate, can you imagine? I mean, straight on here. I'm sending you the paper and the pen, mate. But I want to say this. Like, I stand by what I said initially. So in the sense of I saw improvement, I have. I have. However, where I was wrong is I got carried away. And I thought and I believed that when it came through this last 8, 9, 10 game period, where in fact it truly matters, I thought the improvements would be sustainable through that moment. And I was so wrong, legitimately so wrong about that. I just felt that they would see it. I didn't think they'd lose 4 and 5. Then when I saw them win 4 on the bounce, even one of the titles on my videos was, I think Arteta needs respect. They've bounced back.
More respect
he needs. And the fact he's then lost these last 2 games. And yes, look, Spurs away and Newcastle away are not easy football matches. But with the level of hype, the level of the data points, the tactical videos, the happiness, the togetherness of the squad, for me, just an opinion. And opinions are allowed to be wrong, and I'll address it. I was wrong about how deep those improvements at Arsenal Football Club were. I should have listened to you and other fans like yourself a little bit more. And I don't agree with everything you say. And we certainly know that we don't always agree with how you address everything. And you know that yourself at times. But On this one, yeah, those improvements are fine when there's no pressure. Do you know what it is? It reminds me of the back end of the season under Arsene Wenger for 10 years, where you were brilliant because there was no pressure. And as soon as it turned on, as soon as it had to be done in the pressurized games, beginning of the season and generally February and March, it fell apart again. And it feels, it's a different time of the year, but it feels almost identical, if that makes sense. He's
changed the culture, Terry. He's changed the culture, isn't he? Like, the guy's changed the culture, mate. Yeah, like all of this, yeah, it took Klopp 4 years. Well, it didn't take Klopp 4 years, did it? Because his first full season, he got top 4. Yeah, second full season, he won it. He won the Champions League and got 97 points. So all of this hype around, it took Klopp this, it took Klopp that. And by the way, if you compare how much money he spent compared to how much Arteta spent, not a million miles away, really. And he's been there 3.5 years longer. Yeah, and like, I find it funny because, you know, all these people, and I'm going to go in on a few people, right? And I don't care. I'm just going to name them, Terry, yeah? Right? I'm absolutely sick to death of this fan base, right? I genuinely am, right? You've got somebody like Arseblog, for example, yeah? Massive platform, first podcaster to do Arsenal podcasts. Big up to him. He's made a good career out of it. He's earning a lot of money off of Patreon, yeah? Right? When do they ever educate the fans on this great club? It's all well and good going and getting Ornstein on. It's all well and good going and getting level-headed Arsenal fan. What's a level-headed Arsenal fan? Does anyone know? Or somebody that don't mug the club off? There's somebody that don't demand more. Is that what a level-headed fan is? Yeah, then you've got AFTV. Sorry, mate, the state of some of the fan cams. Yeah, all season. Not just last night, but all season. One of them, by the way, the geezer don't need the money. He runs multiple businesses. Yeah, and he's saying, oh, well, I thought we'd win until the foul throw-in. He don't believe what he's saying. And this is seen as, to 1.4 million people, by the way, yeah, this is seen as, this is what every match day fan thinks, right? By overseas fans. I'm now an overseas fan, Terry, yeah? But I've actually been there, lived it, been abroad, like home and away, et cetera, right? And let me take this back very quickly to Arsene Wenger, right? I was there, the Arsene Wenger in, the Arsene Wenger out, all the way through that, yeah, on social media and at games. Yeah, it was horrible, man. Yeah, literally, we're marching, we're getting bottles thrown at us, we're getting people abusing, people want to try and kick off, you're holding banners, yeah, you're a disgrace, you're this, you're that, right? It then gets to the point, and I remember this game, it was the Manchester City game 4 days after we'd lost the League Cup final, and we played Manchester City again. It was a Thursday night, it was snowing, it was freezing, it was so cold, man, right? And that was in February, I think it was, end of February, maybe early March, yeah, after the League Cup final, we lost. Aubameyang had only just signed, yeah? And 10,000 people walked out the stadium when David Silva put them 2-0 up. Geezer in front of me was the most biggest Arsene Wenger fan I've ever seen in my life. He walked out. Where you going, mate? Back your man. Yeah, back your man. Right. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because now, fast forward all these years later, right? And bear in mind, there was only 20,000 in the ground and 10,000 of them left. And then eventually you got potted. You either leave or we're sacking you, right? Because no bums on seats when Sky cameras are there is not good for business. Right now, fast forward all these years later, right? For the last 2.5 years, or 2 years, sorry, fans have not been allowed to go to games, 18 months, whatever it may be. Yeah, they weren't allowed to go to games. So all I've heard is, well, we've got the youngest squad in the league. Well, that's by design. We've got the youngest manager in the league. Well, that's by design. Yeah, we chose to do both of them things. Yeah, we chose to get rid of 6 players and lower the wage bill by 60 million quid. We chose to not replace a striker when we got rid of our top striker. Yeah, I don't care whether people said he missed sitters or not. Yeah, maybe if we stopped playing him left wing back and put him in a penalty box, he might have stopped, like, having his head up his backside. I don't know. Maybe if we topped Eddie and Nketiah's phone up instead of living off of the back of a Chelsea double, yeah, and a Leeds double, I don't know. Maybe he would have scored last night. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because fast forward now, right? All season, all I've heard is, oh, the club, oh, everyone's united. The fans, the club, the manager, the players, they're all so united. Okay, how comes on 47 minutes they're all walking out of White Hart Lane and going to the 12 pins and the Tollington then? Fact, I know 100% they all left and went to the Tollington and the 12 pins. But you're telling me I'm negative because I hold this club to the standard I've seen it growing up, yeah, and throughout most of my lifetime. Hang on, let me finish, tell you. Sorry, mate. Right. Then Newcastle, they go 2-0 up and fans are walking out. You've driven 6 hours. 6 hours. Terry, I've done that trip to Newcastle. When I went there, Mesut Ozil and Granit Xhaka scored. I couldn't believe it. What are the odds? Right? You've done 6 hours to go to Newcastle and they go 2-0 up and you walk out. What happened to backing the team? Because that's all I keep getting told. Back the team, back the team, back the team. Do you think the team are watching my stream while they're playing the game, you muppets? Yeah, they're not, are they? So what does it matter whether I'm backing the team or not? Yeah, it sounds good on social media. Oh, look, back the team. Yeah, and the reason I've brought up AFTV, Arsblog, I want to bring up Le Grove as well, because some of the articles that geezer's written this season are an absolute shambles. Shambles. Yeah, some of the stuff I've heard on here, on your platform, yeah, listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion, Terry, yeah? But when you look into somebody's eyes, yeah, you know this, Terry, right? When you look into somebody's eyes, you know whether they're saying it and they mean it, right? You know when you hear somebody's voice, whether they say it and they mean it. I have heard so much rubbish all season. Every time we win a game, oh, has anyone checked on Lee Gunner? Well, has anyone checked on the top Gooners and Superfans today then? Yeah, because I ain't heard from them, mate. Are they all right? Are they cool? Because I ain't heard from them since Leeds. Are they cool?
A few of them have deactivated their accounts.
Oh, they have. Yeah, AFC James has disappeared. Bye-bye. What, you deactivate? What, you can't take the heat now? Yeah? What, you can't take the heat? Not easy talking into a camera, is it, James? Yeah? Swallowing golf balls every time you're talking into a camera, mate. Yeah, not easy, is it? But you want to come for me. You want to go for people like me that are Arteta out and don't rate this manager, that have seen life before this manager, life before Arsene Wenger, which you've never seen. Yeah. And you want to sit there and run your mouth to me and people like me because I'm toxic and I'm negative. Where were your 40,000 followers when you were dropping a YouTube video on Mo's channel then? Because they weren't watching it, were they? Yeah, you were getting 300 views, mate, on his channel. Yeah, so you've now got the heat come on top after you've chatted absolute rubbish all season, not believing what you're saying, but it sounds good to your Twitter following. Yeah, but now the heat comes on top, all of a sudden, oh, I'll deactivate. Yeah, oh, let me run away. That sums up Arsenal social media, mate. And that, my friend, is exactly why this club will not move forward, because there is millions of people like that on social media. And I've said this, I blame the fans all the time, Terry. Not all the fans. Match day fans, yeah, can easily get this manager out next season. He ain't going now, yeah, but they could easily get him out next season. In fact, how many people do you reckon to turn up on Sunday? I've seen one top gooner today. Yeah, she might need to check her BMI instead of worrying about checking on me. Yeah, she's running her mouth about, oh, check on me. Yeah, don't worry about me, mate. Yeah, get yourself in the gym. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Terry, but I'm sick and tired of it. I've had 2.5 years of this, mate.
These people come for you, and I totally understand that, mate. And do you know what's interesting for me about this? And obviously, we're going to get onto Arteta and what went wrong tactically later. People, we're going to move on to the youngsters and the emergence of Newcastle, Ten Hag coming, and how that really impacts Arsenal. So we're going right across the board today in this conversation. But I think when it comes to fans, everybody's entitled to an opinion, and listen, you know, I've got a lot of respect for Robbie and AFTV. Do I agree with all the opinions of all the people on there? No. And I know that Robbie doesn't, if that makes sense. But what bothers me is the continual lowering of the expectation. So I'm really happy for someone to see improvement for 2 months, 3 months and be happy about it. What bothered me at the time, and even when you go back and actually watch our debates back, I spoke very vividly and candidly about the fact that even though I've seen improvements, they've still got to keep getting better. They've still got to push to the next level. What frustrated me this season, watching kind of from the outside into Arsenal fans, was if someone said we've improved massively, and I said absolutely, but you've still got to go to that next level and then become consistent, you were shot down.
The next level is the next level.
Well, yeah, of course.
We've
And
been there.
it was always this kind of element of, if you weren't a gooner that was predicting maximum, you know, those tweets that go out of, you know, out of the next 12 available points, how many we're going to get.
The next 5 games, how many points we get.
You didn't say out of the 12 available, 10 plus, they all came for you. And I didn't like the kind of, as I said, the TPFs, the toxic positivity fans, and the way they behaved in the same respect. But as soon as someone went for them, as soon as somebody told one of them to go away, leave me alone, go back to sleep, it wasn't even a big insult. It was like, oh my God, you're a bully, get away from me. And I think fans have got to realize that this does play a big part. When you're not holding your club to high standards, when you're not demanding, and you know, for me, I'm not even looking at Arteta in this. I'm looking at the way the Cronkies run the football club. And I say that because...
Sorry to cut you, Terry. I know you're on free flow, yeah? I've seen more talk about Stan Kroenke and Josh Kroenke today than I've seen all season.
And that's
why is it suddenly Josh Kroenke and Stan Kroenke are now a problem? Yeah, because as soon as you put forward an argument to get rid of Arteta, it's, yeah, but then do you trust this? Who can do better? Yeah, there's nobody better than Mikel Arteta. He's the best looking Spaniard we know. It says it on the banner at the ground. How embarrassing. That sums up all you need to know. But then you get, oh, but do you trust this board and the Cronkies to... Well, you've been trusting them for 2.5 years with Arteta, mate. So what are you talking about?
Mate, I totally agree. And for me, I get whenever I do a Man United stream and the conversation is what do we need to improve, the amount of comments I've had in the last 6 months, I'm getting bored of listening, Terry, to the about the Glazers, the board, structure, culture, employing the right people behind the scenes. Basically, Terry, just blame your players for being rubbish. And I won't yield from that, because for me, until all the operation is running perfectly or running very well, what I think of the players and the manager is secondary, because the baseline isn't there, as an example. And the amount of gooners this season who I've seen, I watched these streams back in November and December, and they were like, actually, I think the owners are doing a fantastic job, and we've really got to get behind Josh and the new. And I thought, hang on, you're 6 weeks into some decent results, and you're talking about these poor owners who run your club terribly, in my opinion, for a long time, are suddenly the best thing since sliced bread. It was almost a case of celebrate. And I said this all year. Celebrate the wins, be happy with improvements, be excited about some of these young players, but don't allow it to completely consume you into, we are back. And you've heard me say this on this show, we are at the top of the mountain, because what that enables is what happened in January. In January, and one of the questions and one of the reasons that I think Arsenal have struggled in the end is their January transfer window. Aubameyang left, 2 or 3 other players left. Maitland-Niles, I believe, maybe he went before, I don't know. Yeah, a few players left. You weakened your squad, and that whole, oh my god, guys, we've lowered the wage bill. What a win!
$1 million, yes.
As soon as I heard that, I thought to myself, you guys could be in trouble. And I sat on streams of gooners. Are you upset? Are you frustrated about the window? Terry, we're not going to react. We're not going to give you what you want and give you a clip. We're absolutely fine. We're moving in the right direction. Then you look at Aubameyang scoring goals elsewhere. Now, that isn't the issue for me, because it's about replacing him. And I had an Arsenal fan say to me last night, well, Terry, what was available in the January transfer window? Well, Kulusevski and Bentancur were available. Spurs didn't sign them until one of the final days of the season, so you could have got them. In fact, Liverpool got Luis Diaz. The only reason Spurs missed out is because they dragged the deal on too long. You could have gone and signed Luis Diaz. As an example, he was available. There were players like Ruben Neves, where if you paid the right money, were available.
Go back to the summer window, Terry, yeah?
Yep.
Everyone was sitting there saying, oh, Martin Odegaard, oh, yes, it's the second coming of Ozil and Bergkamp and all of this crap, yeah? Right? I wanted Maddison. All I got after Gibraltar Garden, I can see Gibraltar today. It's a clear day. Oh, he's not at the top of the rock, by the way. Yeah. Maybe he's missing from there as well. Yeah. Maybe send a search party out for him. Yeah. But all I got was when he scored against Burnley, a free kick. Oh, you wanted Maddison. You wanted. Go and have a look how many goals Maddison scored this season. And Leicester have been rubbish all season. Right. Now, for the extra money, we could have gone and got Maddison. People talk about he's fixed the defence. How comes we conceded then 4 goals, I think it is, less than Unai Emery did 3 seasons ago, mate?
This is part of the issue. So the other player that was available in January, and he's ended up going to Newcastle with Bruno Guimaraes, who he's been, every time I've seen him play, he's controlling the ball. He's the way
he scored last night to kill the game.
It was poetic. The same, and not even that you didn't sign him. It was the way, again, I saw top gooners say he's rubbish. We've got levels above him. We don't need him. And that's what's bothered me about, in terms of fan conversations. And some people say, oh, Terry, why do you care? We're a fan channel. Fan opinion is literally, if you watch AFTV, the Football Terrace, United Stand, Saeed, Rance, Lee, Eunice, I'm just naming off the top of my head YouTubers. It's all about fan opinion. So, of course, I care about what other fans think and feel. It'd be very weird not to. For me, it's the way all these things are played down. So, no, we don't want to show any negativity. We don't want to show any frustration. If you don't show enough, in my opinion, your club's always going to take the proverbial piss out of you. And I think that was one of the biggest things that's gone wrong, because as the season's gone on, you do have this young squad, which, by the way, is by design. You didn't add the right level of quality and maybe some elder statesmen to it. In fact, you got rid of people. Now, Aubameyang could have been misbehaving. Aubameyang's attitude could have been wrong. I'm not even worried about that element. But you need to replace that individual. Right. Man United, when we got rid of Roy Keane, when we got really, Fergie always said he regretted it in the end. But Roy Keane's a great example. David Beckham's a great example. There was reasons they had to go. Not because they weren't good, but because there was David Beckham, Fergie felt was a distraction for the squad and the club with the Spice Girl staff and the fame. Roy Keane has said some things that he wasn't happy with. Ironically, Roy Keane said that basically that Rooney and Ronaldo wouldn't amount to much. That's why he had a great manager. But like Fergie moved him on. But why did Fergie move him on? Because he knew that he could move him out and it would make other people flourish. But with Beckham, we replaced him pretty much straight away with Cristiano Ronaldo. But we still had a team full of elder statesmen. Roy Keane, we actually struggled for a few years until we brought in Michael Carrick. Until we brought a good quality midfielder in. He may not have had the leadership capabilities of Roy Keane, but he came in a little bit. He wasn't a 20-year-old fledgling who'd barely played football. He played for West Ham and Spurs already in the Premier League, had already been capped for England, and he had some experience. And we delayed that by a couple of years. Maybe it was 18 months, maybe it was 2 years. We delayed that by, and we struggled in that situation where we were playing Alan Smith in midfield, and we had Liam Miller, God rest his soul, coming in. And what was really interesting, I was living in Manchester at the time. The fans, Fergie, by the way, treble-winning manager, were fuming at him, screaming. I could hear him from the stadium. What are you doing? We need a midfielder. The standards were high. They weren't like, oh God, Fergie's won us so much, we're not going to question a decision that he makes. Questioning your manager doesn't mean you need to have him sacked. And it brings me to this tweet here. This tweet here from Patrick Timmons says 4 points clear with 3 games to go. It's just inexcusable. But I want to put this question out there to the viewers and everybody else. And this is where we want to get this onto the managerial conversation. If it's what does it's inexcusable mean? Does that mean I'm not going to show any frustration? Does it mean I'm not forgiving the manager ever and I want him gone? Like, what does inexcusable
tell you what it means for that guy? I'll tell you what it means for that guy. I'm going to play up to what's popular right now. That guy, I swear somebody irons him before he goes out. He was like this with a girl, yeah? Like literally, it's like an ironing board, bruv, yeah?
A girl or a gal? A girl or a gal?
No, a girl.
A girl.
Yeah, there's a picture of him, yeah, where he's like this. He's cuddling the girl like this. It's like, mate, you know you've never touched a girl before. Yeah, like, seriously, mate, that guy, yeah, that guy spends all day just tweeting to what's popular. Yeah. And they've mastered, there's a few of them that have mastered what will get a viral tweet. Yeah, there's a few of them. Him, LT Arsenal, Tiki Taka Twat. There's a few others. Well Beast. There's a few others. None of these people between them have probably ever seen Arsenal win a league. And if they were born when that happened, they were probably about 3 years old. So they can't remember it. Right. So for me, that guy, when he puts out there, it's inexcusable. No, it's inexcusable tonight. It's inexcusable today. It's inexcusable tomorrow. Doesn't matter. If we beat Everton and Tottenham get top 4, it don't matter because it's not inexcusable to you, is it? Is it, Patrick? It's not to you, is it, mate? Yeah? The kid don't know nothing about Arsenal Football Club. He just tweets to what is popular to the same age group. Yeah? Because the majority of people that follow that kid are about 15 to 25. Yeah? So anyone who is over the age of 25 who follows that guy, seriously, you need to have a look at yourself. Yeah, because that guy is not giving you any special insight on the football club. He's not educating you on the history of this club. He's not holding the standards of the club. He's got over 300,000 followers on that platform. Yeah, use it in the right way. Yeah, use it to educate the fans on how great Arsenal is. Because the majority of his fans will live overseas. They would have only just been watching Arsenal under the Wenger era. They would have only got Sky in their country during the Wenger era. Yeah, because that's how it is. You know, they weren't out there in 93 or 92 or whatever.
I mean, true. A lot of the Canadian and American supporters that sort of like watching Premier League football up until maybe 10, 15 years ago was almost impossible. So why don't you, with 300,000 followers, instead of chatting absolute garbage, why don't you actually sit there, right, as an English guy that is local to London, as far as I'm aware, yeah, why don't you educate your followers on how great Arsenal is? Use your massive cult following, yeah, to actually keep the standards up high. But he can't because he don't know nothing about the club. He knows absolutely zero about Arsenal Football Club, mate. Go through the last 100 tweets that guy said. When does he ever educate you on the club? He doesn't. When does he ever try to put out his own opinions, yeah, that are not what the general consensus is? He doesn't. When does he ever go against the grain? When do any of these top accounts with all the mass followings, when do
when does any of them, right? I'll give an example, yeah? One of them will tweet out something like that. They'll see one of them tweet out, the next one will tweet out similar, but in a different way. Then the next one with 100,000 a tweet, then the next one with 200,000. Why have they all got the same kind of full pro? It makes no sense, mate, because they're chatting rubbish.
I saw this the other day. When Man United got linked with Frankie de Jong, the vast majority, forget how good or bad he's going to turn out if Ten Hag fails. Frankie de Jong's a quality player. Would you agree? Yeah, like most people would agree that he's a quality player. Most people on socials, even sort of Liverpool and City fans, are like, God, that'd be a big one for Man United to pull off. It was the Gooners that came out in force about terrible signing, stinks of Pogba, without this kind of DM, without a DM next to him, it's not going to work. And it was a little bit negative, and I get that by the way. But then I just saw it was like throwing water on a gremlin. All the accounts started tweeting the same thing, like a hive mind. And that's, again, for me, I don't think these things are sensible. Have your own thoughts and feelings. Now, one thing...
I've seen it firsthand. Thank you, mate. I've seen it firsthand, right? I'll put a tweet out there before
Lee, hang on a minute. You've been profiting so much off of losses. You've got a
button. Oh, mate, I won't even tell you how much I earned yesterday, mate, because it's got to cry. Yeah? You'll have to work a month and a half. Do you know what I mean? Yeah?
I hear you on that, mate.
Let me just say this, Terry, right? I'll put a tweet out there, right? So, for example, I'll give you the best example, yeah? Mikel Arteta has finally announced as Arsenal manager. I put a tweet out there saying, I refuse to back this manager. This manager will take us backwards 5 years. Yeah, this is a disgusting decision. Anyone happy with a rookie taking over this job at this stage of where we're at as a football club back then, yeah, and thinking that this guy will lead us to Premier League glory, I'm sorry, but you're deluded. That had over 1,000 comments on it, yeah? And I think only 2 or 3 were nice, yeah? How many of them people out of the 1,000 now want him gone? Yeah, you all coming to apologise because I'm owed a lot of apologies, bro.
Well, this is what's going to happen as we go into next year. So if you do find it inexcusable, I've said this before, I don't necessarily think someone that yesterday fully backed Arteta I don't expect them all today to go, I'm now Arteta out. However, the level of expectation needs to increase. So firstly, I don't want to hear any more nonsense about the clubs have to build. He's been there 2.5 years. He's already fixed the culture that's been said. He's already brought in the right profile of player.
Has he fixed the culture, Erik?
No, last night. But forget that. They have said he has, right? So this is, I'm in their minds now. It's all fixed. So it's all fixed and it's done. Meaning, if he isn't a good enough coach, you take another manager that's better and you plug and play him in. You don't need an overhaul. You don't need a brand new squad. You just put in a manager that is better. It's always easier to find a better manager when your own manager is average. How average is he overall? Listen, these are some stats that we took out. These are from the Premier League's website. 32% of Arteta's Premier League games he has lost. You look at the Fergies, the Peps and the Klopps at 14%. Antonio Conte at 20%. By the way, I missed this out, but Thomas Tuchel's is 16%. Okay. Big Sam Allardyce, 39%. Arteta at 32%.
Big Sam, 39%, yeah?
So that's where he is. On top of
Big Sam until the end of the season.
on top of that as well. So on top of that as well is this, right? On top of that percentage.
Is that based on all of their Premier League games? So obviously
all their Premier League games together. To put that into perspective.
The fact that the top 3 are the top 3 is kind of right then, because they are 3 of the best managers. Yeah, Wenger being in 4th. Yeah, cool. And we said this backstage that if you take up the last 5 years of Wenger, it'd be a lot less than 18%.
It absolutely would. You've got to remember as well, Arteta lost 34% of his games last season. And so far, he's lost 13 in 37 games. So he's actually lost 35% of his games this year. If he loses to Everton, his loss ratio is getting worse year on year. So I bring this back to, it's going to be a big summer this year for Arsenal. I actually think they're going to give him nearly everything that he wants.
We said that last summer, Terry, and look at the crap he signed. He bought a goalkeeper whose honeymoon period's well and truly dead and buried, by the way. Yeah. Yesterday, by the way, big up to Ramsdale, because without him in goal, it would have been 6. Yeah, and this is why whenever everyone's questioned me and said, "Why don't you back Ramsdale?" No, I'll wait and see on Ramsdale. I've told everyone this all season. I see this exact same scenario with Leno, mate. Yeah, and everyone getting hype. He's amazing. He was only amazing because Petr Cech was nearly scoring own goals passing around the back. Yeah. So he come in, had a good season, double save against Eriksen and Sissoko. Yeah. And then the next season, he fell off a cliff. So Ramsdale's been great. Yeah, don't get it twisted. For me, he's our player of the season, by the way. Yeah, so before anyone wants to say you're negative, no, I think he's our player of the season.
And listen, Rams.
I'll judge him at the end of next season. Yeah.
So this is the point, though. I think Ramsdale's had a sensational year. He's had a few moments where he's been a bit. One of the reasons why when Arsenal fans said, "Oh, do you think he should be England's number one?" I said, just don't put that pressure on him yet. I don't think, again, younger fans and maybe not fans of England as a national team. The number one shirt for England comes with a huge level of scrutiny. It's a position that the media and the general public in England care about. So my view was just, let's not put that pressure on him yet. Let him learn, let him be nurtured, go up and down. But the point is, I think you'll buy players this summer. I think you'll spend big money again.
Yeah, we're going to buy, but my point is, Terry,
let me finish my point now. This is again, sometimes like I just want to get this out. So they're going to give him big money again, which means it's 2 summers running where there's going to be big amounts of money spent. He's going to address the areas that are needed. It will be spun in the way of, these are the right people for us. These are my guys. My question to these, it's inexcusable. It's a failure that we've missed out now, is what standards are you going to hold the squad and the manager to? And what are you going to demand your club holds them to? Because how long does he now get going into next season? He can't be tracking toward, if he starts the first 10 games, if he loses 3 or 4 of them, surely you've got to look at that and go, I know a lot of you are already there, but I'm talking about the people that have got faith in him. I want to hear what your cutoff point is, or what you expect the club to do. Forget the whole, I hate this nonsense, but I gave him a new deal, so he's probably not going to get sacked. But
Terry, the cutoff point is when the pendulum finally swings the opposite way. I'll give an example. We lost to Damari Gray's Rocket, at Everton at Goodison, 2-1. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, according to all the super fans on Arsenal Fan TV, mate. Yeah, all the top gooners like that Patrick Timmons and LT Arsenal and all of these people with all their big accounts, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah, we can't come back from that. But then all of a sudden, we're going to win 5 in a row. Yeah, so it weren't the straw that broke the camel's back then, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's, we'll forget that after one win against Newcastle or Leeds or whoever it was we beat. Yeah, then it's, and then we go and beat this team, and then we beat this at Southampton, and then we beat this. All of a sudden, you're 4 wins in a row, then 5 wins in a row. So that Everton result and that Man United result and that result before that are all forgotten, aren't they? So when people come out and say it's the straw that broke the camel's back, they're only saying it, Terry, because at that particular moment, at that particular time, it is fashionable. Yeah, and this is why I will continue to out these people as fraudulent people, because they don't say what they actually think. Right, and nobody can bully me, Terry. Right, I've been sat here for 2.5 years, over 2.5 years before he got the job, and said I am not backing this geezer. Yeah, well, I'm still here 2.5 years later. Yeah, but you said you give Ramsdale this player rating, and you said this about that player, and you said that Arteta would do this and that. Well, guess what, mate? Keep crying, because I'm coming back again against Everton, and I'll profit off of that, whether it's win, loss, or draw. Yeah. So at the end of the day, why don't you actually back what you think, rather than what you think people will like?
I couldn't agree with you more on that from a fan channel point of view. I really couldn't. And one of the other things I think Arsenal fans have got to stop doing, and I think that the media around it and the pundits in the club, is these Jurgen Klopp comparisons. Jurgen Klopp time. And so we looked at this earlier on today because someone sent you the stat and we verified it. So Jurgen Klopp, has lost 34 Premier League games in 265 games. Okay, so 265 games. That is how many Premier League games. 34
games lost in 6 years. Jurgen Klopp, yeah,
in 6, which is ridiculous. And by the way, that loss percentage is generally on a trajectory level has got better and better and better.
And let's be real, 6 of them were in a row at home when he had a decimated defense and had 21 cents.
It's been on. When you look at Mikel Arteta, in 95 games, he's lost 31 of them. So he's a last night. 32, yeah. So 32. So he's 2 defeats behind Jurgen Klopp in well over 50%.
170 games less.
Yeah, 170 games less. And it's almost, stop setting yourselves up for this kind of failure. Stop overhyping. Stop over comparing. Enjoy what you're seeing. Say that you have faith in it. And that, ironically, then you're not going to have people come for you as much. I think you're absolutely right. They make it easy for the football club, because football clubs do respond to fans. Like, fans are very powerful. If you protest, if you stop spending money, if you walk out of stadiums, change happens. Equally, if you over celebrate, if you over compliment, if you over praise, they'll stop
En
improving.
masse.
En masse, yeah, no, absolutely. It isn't one person; it's everybody doing it. We're going to talk about the youngsters in a bit and about the Ten Hags.
Can I just say about Klopp very quickly, right? Because the comparisons between Arteta and Klopp are just hilarious, right? So it took Klopp 4 years. No, it didn't. It took him 1 full season to get Champions League. That's the aim, right? Oh, but it weren't the aim, is it? Because now we've not got Champions League as it stands. It's, we're just above 8th. Yeah, didn't Jurgen Klopp finish 8th with Liverpool in his half season? Lost 2 finals, a League Cup final and a Europa League final to Sevilla. The first full season, he got Champions League. The second full season, he won the Champions League, didn't he? Yeah, or did he? Maybe he came runner-up in it. Actually, he came runner-up. The third full season, he won the Champions League and got 97 points. Yeah? So this manager's been here 2 full seasons. We're not even in the Champions League, Terry. So these comparisons with Klopp are just pathetic. Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool as a back-to-back title winner and been in 2 Champions League finals already. It's now taken Liverpool to 3 Champions League finals.
Absolutely.
Where's the comparison,
mate? There isn't one, and it is what it is.
Rant said this to me the other day. He said that a friend of his messaged him and said, "Oh, what is it with Edu and Arsenal just going out and trying to get young Brazilians? Because we're about to sign a geezer called Marquinhos. Yeah, not the Marquinhos, but a young Brazilian kid. Yeah." He said that my mate messaged me and said Edu and Arsenal are basically turning that club into a Brazilian Wolves. That's exactly what he's doing. Brazilian Wolves, we're kind of there or thereabouts. We're not great some performances, but we'll be crap at times as well.
Do you know what's funny about it? We had Dean Jones on in the summer, who's not a journalist that Arsenal fans like, and it all goes back to the Pepe deal.
I am listening. I'm getting my cigarettes.
No worries, mate, because he said that the deal was very unlikely to happen, or 100% wouldn't happen. And then Arsenal changed their minds and spent the money. The reason it was 100% not happening is because Arsenal weren't going to spend the £70 million. God, do Arsenal fans wish that Dean got that right. Dean wasn't overtly wrong. The club just changed their minds. But he said in the summer that Arsenal would spend £150 million north of that if they sold more players. And he said that what he's been told their transfer approach is, it's this double-edged sword. It's very clever. It's just buy young and exciting players. And if they all turn into brilliant players together and we win trophies, great. If they don't, we'll be able to sell these individuals on for a profit and then reinvest in more young players. And when he said this, it was almost met as an insult by a lot of gooners online. Almost, how dare you? One, we're not going to spend that much. And secondly, that isn't what we're doing. And it does appear that large parts of that are true, especially how much he spent. He was absolutely bang on in the May. And equally, that's the one thing about these signings. And that's why I'm intrigued about your summer, because yes, there are some. Yes, and if you could sign Tchouaméni, I don't care that he's young. He's absolute superstar, even at a young age.
Do you think he's coming to Arsenal? Real talk. He ain't, is he?
No, but I was using him as an example around. There are some young players that you would still buy irrespective. But all of Arsenal's signings, primarily this summer, have got to be players 24, 25, 26 plus. You need men in this team to nurture these young players. Now, we're going to get onto the
men. We sold the men, Terry.
Mate, I'm going to get into that in a minute, bro. I'm going to get into that in a minute. I want to do these super chats first, because a lot of people have put them in. First, this is a comment, actually. Someone here says, I was wrong about Lee. I sincerely apologize, is what Arsenal for Life has
There's one apology today. Thank you very much, Arsenal for Life. I'm owed about another 300,000 more, but thank you for the kind gesture.
Chike here says, Terence Fleurs, how many times do I have to tell you that it doesn't matter? Take time to challenge for a league title. How can Chelsea go from 9th to FA Cup finalists and Champions League winners and compete football inside 13 months? What I would say to you on that is form is temporary, class is permanent. Arsenal's class has dropped as opposed to form, but I do hear
our fan base is clapped. That's why.
Arsenal don't lose matches. They crash and burn. Wallahi. I can't even say the word.
I'm glad you said it, mate.
Yeah. Getting rid of players like Aubameyang was to get the average age down for PR reasons and to give him an excuse in case he missed
Same with Kolasinac.
Is what's used there. Lee Gunner is the GOAT, is what Harrison has got to say here. Lee Gunner is the GOAT. E here said, big up Terry. I think you're wrong. I honestly don't see any improvements Arsenal have made. The standard isn't to finish 4th, it's to win the league. And look, I respect that opinion. Absolutely, I do. If I don't know who that is. Caribbean gets promoted with Huddersfield. Arsenal should go for him. He built a side that challenges promotion with free transfers and loans. Well, listen, there's sometimes a lot of disrespect to managers whose names we don't know in terms of their progression. Look at Graham Potter. Do you know Graham Potter's loss percentage in the Premier League is 34% with that squad and that money?
And but he hasn't got nice drip. He don't wear Prado, and he ain't got a wig on.
And you know, also you've got Eddie Howe's. Eddie Howe's an even better example. Eddie Howe was flavour of the month for 18 months at Bournemouth, and then everybody was like, "Now, what's dead manager? Look what he's doing with this Newcastle. The way they play football is sensational. They got.
How come Super Mick Arteta ain't in the running for manager of the year, but Eddie Howe is? Patrick Vieira is as well, by the way.
I think David Moyes should have been in there too, but that's another conversation. But listen, Eddie Howe has done an amazing job there. Palace will end, will be over Arsenal next season, is what Zotta believes.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Imagine thinking a guy that can't even get top 4 has the minerals to get a Premier League title or Champions League title.
No, we barely beat Burnley every season under Sean Dyche, yeah, right? And we're now hoping, yeah, this is funny, right? I see a tweet yesterday before the Newcastle game. Somebody put a tweet out. Somebody sent it to me, yeah, saying, and it said, yeah, Arsenal looking for favours and hoping to beat Newcastle, yeah, but this lot want to play Bayern München.
I do.
It's bad, isn't
it? I do hear you on that. Sarim here says Jurgen Klopp's poo, who's a Liverpool fan, by the way, says Jurgen Klopp's poo is a better manager than Arteta. Woody Buzz here says, I back what I've said. I think next season with a better squad and depth, injuries hurt us right now, Lee. Whether you like it or not, your idol Emery bottled 4th worst.
1 second. Keep that on the screen. Number 1, Emery's not my idol. I wanted him sacked. Number 2, I said, soon as he was sacked and we were linked to Arteta, I said, bring Emery back. Number 3, even if we beat Everton, yeah, with a so-called better squad that are all united, that are all playing for the manager, that are all running the hard yards and doing everything, and to change the culture, is the best-looking Spaniard we know, etc., etc., he will finish 1 point behind Unai Emery with that dross. Unlucky. Oh, and he would have conceded, if we don't concede a goal against Everton, he would have conceded about 4 goals less after doing 160 million defenders and scored about 18 goals less. What do I know?
Nathan here says, it's so sad that the club that I love are finished. It hurts to see the state of the club are in, because I can't see a light at the end of the tunnel. F these top gooners that hold my club back. Say it as it is.
Man, real one.
What's also interesting, like I did feel this about some Arsenal fans' reaction last night, was if you truly believe that you're moving in the right direction, one, you wouldn't be so bothered about Man United with Erik and Conte at Tottenham, and you wouldn't have been. The disappointment I saw last night was almost like this was our. You watched In Between Us, right?
Yeah, I love it.
You remember when Will had the chance with the girl, and he blew it. That was never happening again.
The corner from me, that girl.
Oh, this she? It's something attack. That's how it kind of felt last night. Almost like they kind of know. And we're going to get onto that conversation a little bit later. But Nathan, thank you. Do you lads think it's telling that the top 4 managers that got top 4 are Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, and Conte? Managers matter. Listen, Jeremy, this is so true. And I listen.
Who knew that Antonio Conte would get Harry Kane firing again?
It was the prediction that I made when it happened. In fairness, I thought the one that I'm right and wrong. I said that when Antonio Conte came in, I said I think he'll get Spurs top 4 because he's that good a manager. Equally, when Man United got rid of Ollie and Ralph come in, I thought, well, maybe he can do it now because the squad's pretty good. But there's a lot of different circumstances.
I said it with Matisse and Toby and Henry and all these other people. I was like, yo, as soon as Conte got their job, I said, you're top 4. Yeah, because a world-class manager, which he is, and people always doubt him because he never won in Europe, Conte, yeah? Right? He is a top-class manager. Did you see his interview after the game against us? And right at the end, and he was saying, oh, Arteta always likes to moan, and he's only been in the job a little while. Maybe my advice to him should be stop moaning. Yeah. After we had this game, did you hear me moaning about this? No, I just sucked it up and got on with it. He goes, and if he wants to take my advice, cool. If he don't, I don't care. That got in his head, mate. That got in his head because he rattled him.
the problem is, listen, there were times in Fergie's career where Fergie would berate a referee or moan about a decision. Fergie had, and I always use Fergie as the example because I didn't watch other teams when I was a kid like I've watched them in the last 4 to 5 years because of the job that I do, right? So I'm so much more informed now on other people's clubs because I talk to fans like I never did when I was younger. It's kind of normal. But Fergie would every now and then blame the ref, blame a decision, blame whatever. But generally, he would hold the team to account. One of the things I love about Thomas Tuchel, Thomas Tuchel does this in an abundance. He will own when things go wrong. And I think sometimes what happens is Jurgen Klopp, ironically, in the earlier days at Liverpool, when it weren't going their way, he would blame the team. He wouldn't out anybody, but he would look at themselves.
We weren't good enough today. Stuff like that.
Now that he's won quite a bit, he does sometimes do that. It's the weather, it's this, it's that. But it's about doing those things at the right time. Klopp doesn't do that as often as people make out. It's only we focus on it then. My issue with Arteta is I think sometimes what he does is he gives the team an out by protecting them. Instead of saying, he didn't have to out Holding in the last game, but do you know what? We wanted to play with aggression, but we were unprofessional today. We did this wrong, we did that wrong. In the moment, instead of, if I speak about this referee, I'm going to get banned for 6 months. That tells that tells the players and the fans that we can just excuse the performance. And sometimes you have to know when to.
Did you hear Granit Xhaka's interview after the game? First and foremost, I'm actually surprised Granit Xhaka came out after a loss because he normally hides. Yeah, but he actually came out and he said, today we didn't follow the manager's instructions. It was a disaster. We don't deserve to play Champions League. And if we're being honest, we don't deserve to be in the Europa League either. Yeah, and it's like, but this is the only reason he's come out, and I'm going to tell you this again. I've said this all season since this Amazon documentary was announced. Yeah, right. This is Mikel Arteta's galvanized the squad. He's got out the deadwood. It's all about road to recovery for Granit Xhaka and redemption for Granit Xhaka after he told us all to F off. Right. So now Granit Xhaka suddenly comes out after an embarrassing loss to Newcastle and says, well, we didn't follow the manager's instructions. It's all on us. Yeah, it's a disgrace. We don't deserve Europa League, let alone Champions League. So now when you go to that Amazon documentary in August, when it comes out, that is going to be part of it. Oh, Granit Xhaka, because he came out with a documentary saying he wants to be more close to the fans. Yeah. How comes when he was outside the ground at the Tottenham the other day then, when people are asking for signatures and all that, he drove off? Yeah, because if he wanted to be close to the fans, he would have pulled up, hazards on, got out of the car, took selfies and signed everyone's all. Like, do you know what I'm saying? These people chat absolute rubbish, Terry.
I hear you on that. Zotta here says Roma have the same average age as Arsenal. They just got to their first final, I think he means, or trophy. Did they win the trophy?
No, they're in the Conference League final.
In the final in over 14 years. Joshua Jack,
Jose Mourinho.
Joshua Jack here says Arsenal fans try to banter United about their special blueprint for the Champions League just to end up in the same competition that United are in next year. Listen, and this is the thing. There was a part of me that celebrated a lot as a fan last night, as a Man United fan, because
I was willing on the second goal. When Pepe came on, I was like, come on, Agent Pepe's been sat on the bench all year. Yeah, he passed them clean through and they missed.
I hear it. Now, I want to go to another. We are going to talk about the emergence of Newcastle, Conte staying, Erik Ten Hag coming soon. So stay with us, people. Let's get the stream past 1,000 likes while we're live on the air, please, and hit that like button right now. And we'll come back to some more super chats a little later. But there's a tweet here that I want to kind of put out, and it brings me into the conversation about youngsters. So this here from Max Harris, who says, youngest squad in the league with no striker, effed up top four with a game to go. Proud of them. We have massively overachieved. Essentially, Europa League is very winnable. We will do this young squad wonders. Trust the process. Now, I wanted to ask you about this process and this kind of notion that comes up.
It's a youth project, hell. It's not a process. They changed it last summer.
But I have this feeling and I have this theory. I think Emil Smith-Rowe is very talented. I think Saka is very talented. I think Martinelli is very talented, especially Martinelli. Should have played a lot more earlier on in the season. But do you get this feeling that he is going to burn these players, especially Saka? I just think they are far too young and too inexperienced to burden the pressure of playing for a club the size of Arsenal in the Premier League. And the fact that if they don't play, there's no one else. Like, I don't understand why that is. I wouldn't be positive about this. Hindsight's lucrative, and I'm looking at this with hindsight, so I will openly admit that. But there's this element of you're putting all your eggs in the baskets of these kids. Children have won nothing. People will always go back and go to the famous Alan Hansen quote, you'll win nothing with kids. He's right if it's just kids and you don't have... Man United had Peter Schmeichel. They had Gary Pallister. They had Steve Bruce. They had Roy Keane. They had Andy Cole in that team. Brian McClare. Well, Giggs was a little bit older than the class. He was a year or so older. But there was stars in that team. By the way, a year earlier, Kanchelskis and Paul Ince and Mark Hughes were with them. They came into a team. Eric Cantona. They were in a team full of men.
And most of them go out on loan.
So a few went out on loan. But
Beckham went on loan. Other players went on loan.
But even then, those youngsters, the class of 92, came into a team of winners. When Messi and Busquets and Gerard Piqué, I know Gerard Piqué left and went to United, came back. When they got put into that Barcelona team, first by Rijkaard and then into the Pep era, look who they were surrounded by. And this is the thing for me, which I find so frustrating, is how people just expect them. And I've got a feeling that if you don't buy experience, and this is what, it doesn't even matter if some of these players are sit on the bench for a bit, experience is needed, because I do think Arteta and Arsenal are going to burn these players out and ruin them. And I'd love to get Arsenal fans' opinions on this, because I understand it's a young squad. But
by design.
It is by design, but I feel like these players are going to end up getting burned out.
That's the excuse. Oh, we're a young squad. If we had got Champions League, this lot would have had street parties, right? And then when we got battered in the Champions League, it would have been the same excuse again. Thank you. It would have been the same excuse again. Yeah, it's the youngest squad, the first season back in the chat. I am sick to death of it, right? This football club has done 250 million quid on crap, right? Aaron Ramsdale, I'm going to hold my counsel on him until next season, because like I said earlier, I've seen this with Leno. Yeah, put him on a pedestal, then he falls off a cliff. So let's just wait with him. He's for me, he's been our best player this season, and I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna respect him, and I'm gonna say cool. But I want to see what you do next season now, when the Amazon cameras ain't there and you ain't fist pumping to no one. Yeah. Now you go and have a look at Ben White. I don't care what anyone tells me. I've said it from before he started a game for us. That guy is dross. We see again last night, he got bullied by a striker who's not played for about 6 months. Yeah, absolutely bullied. Scored a great own goal, by the way. Well done to him. Yeah, but he's got nice tattoos and he's a pretty boy, so everyone fancies him, right? Then you go Martin Odegaard. I said earlier in last week's show, Dan James has got a better output for the team that he's playing at compared to what Martin Odegaard's playing at. Everyone ridiculed me for it. Well, put Odegaard in Leeds team, would they be better? They probably wouldn't, would they? Yeah, they probably wouldn't, would they? Let's be real, because every time the guy's pressed, he don't do nothing, right? Tommy Asu, yeah, I don't even know if he was injured, bruv. I think he just got bored of getting skinned by St. Maximin last night.
Yeah, I think there might have been.
He taps out. He was like, "I'm done, mate."
He wanted to go. He wanted to go. There's no doubt.
Yeah, but this is my point, Terry. Right? That person who's put that tweet out. Oh, it's a young squad. Yeah, by design. No, I'm proud of the boys. They've been overachieving. Okay, so they've been overachieving them. So we've lost 13 games this season with a game to go. We lost 13 games last season. How many did Unai Emery lose the season before then? Or the season before his actual full season? Because he didn't lose 13. Yeah? So what with Lichtsteiner and Bellerin sharing right back, right? Kolasinac and Monreal sharing left back. Rob Holding, Socrates. Who else did we have at centre back? Callum Chambers at times.
I hear that. Do you
feel goal? Sorry. And we have conceded 4 goals less than we did that season after spending 250 million quid.
And I get that. When you look at Bukayo Saka as an example, do you think he's good enough to be part of a team that could get you back to the top, like talented wise? And if so, is Arteta right?
He is mad overrated, but before everyone starts crying, yeah, he's mad overrated, but he has been absolutely flogged to death this season. Yeah. Why is Nicola Pepe sat on the bench every week? Right? Why is Bukayo Saka playing 90 minutes against Tottenham? What did he do against Tottenham? How did he finish that football match? Yeah. How did he play for so long last night? Yeah, he played the whole game, didn't he, last night, I think?
I think so, yeah.
I think he finished the game. How? What did he do? I did not know he was on the pitch. That's not necessarily his fault. Yeah, against Tottenham, he got bullied. There's been games this season where I've looked at him and I thought, wow, you are a special talent, man. You're really... And he has got talent. Yeah, let's not get it twisted. He's a top player. But he's 20 years old, Terry. He plays 90 minutes week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out. And people, you said it a minute ago, oh, but you got no one else. Yeah, we have. Got Pepe on the bench, mate. Yeah, why don't we use him? Because he's hardly played all season, so why aren't we using him? There's something not right with that Pepe. Yeah, it's not him. There's something not right with that deal. Yeah, because for me, I think Ralstonelli allegedly left because of that deal. Something allegedly.
I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you, I know what it is. Without knowing
there's
facts.
Bonuses. There's extra money.
Appearances. Listen, we had when I was working with UFF, we had Ross Smith's dad come on the show, John Smith.
John Smith,
who's proper agent. It's mad, actually. I was on an aeroplane the other week, and I was sitting there chilling, and I looked up, and I just see his face on the screen. Somebody watching a Premier League show on the plane, and his face was there. It was just weird. Like, I've never been on a plane and seen it happen. Anyway, I digress. He was speaking about the Arshavin deal and how Arshavin had like clauses in his contract, which meant if he got subbed off before like the 70th minute, he would be paid less. And then one of the gooners in the room was like, oh, we used to get annoyed. He was always taken off 65 minutes in. Well, it was a financial decision. And these things exist. And I would always...
We were in the UFF studio. Me and you were there, yeah, and he was telling us some stories, and he told us,
you were there that day. I forget. Yeah, you were there. I forget.
And he told us about how he paid the 1.3 million out of his own pocket to get that Arshavin deal done for Arsenal, and then Gazidis wired him the money. Do you remember that?
I know. He didn't even get the drinks in, did he? Do you know what I mean? 1.3 laying around. You know what I'm saying? But listen, and this is the thing. So the Pepe deal, in my opinion, will be, and it might not even be what he gets. It might be the case. And remember, deals aren't, very rarely is a deal £72 million cash. We know you're paying in installments, but a lot of that's normal. But a lot of that is sometimes bonus related. And it could be that if he plays over a certain amount of appearances or minutes,
or scores goals,
then the club are owed more. So it's like, we're not going to put in this. And this is why these are the things I want the blue ticks. These are the things that I would demand the journalists. And there are some journalists out there that put out great news and very popular. I want to see those questions being asked. The problem that you have is that a lot of journalists now have become...
They're not journalists, Terry. They're puppets.
They're the mouthpiece of the football clubs. And that's what bothers me. And again, I say it, and Gooners think I'm attacking their club. I swear to you on anything you want me to swear on, I'll swear this on, because I'm being honest. I actually care. I care about the fact that, and I say that, and it's a bit deep, but football is a huge part of the culture of this country. It's a huge part of my life, you know. And I said a thing last night about the middle class taking over football, and I've no issue with new and different types of people coming in, but it was built by the working class men and women of these local areas, and there's something about it that I think needs to be protected. And when you get greedy owners from I don't care where they're from. When you get greedy owners that aren't running clubs properly, I want to call it out. And when I see it being protected by fan bases, it really bothers me, and I can't quite compute why, but it does. But I look at Bukayo Saka as an example to go back to him, and I look at Martinelli, and I see two tremendous footballers who earlier on in the season, when they were fit and vibrant and not over... Smith Rowe is great. They looked brilliant. In their last 10 games, Saka's got 4 goal contributions, 2 of them penalties. Smith Rowe 1. I think Smith Rowe's gone 27 consecutive games without creating a goal, as an example. And that's not, and I'm not digging at him. They are talented, but they are not being utilized right. And but
the way this football club has marketed them two in particular, Saka and Smith Rowe, right? Give him number 10. That's Bergkamp's number, mate. What have you done to get Bergkamp's number? Yeah, you've given out Rocky's number to Saka. Yeah, even if you're later than that, yeah, you've given Perez's number. Yeah. Why? Yeah, because they knew that this fan base will lap up any old dross, Terry, yeah? Because they have done it for years under Wenger, because the majority of our fans, globally, locally, whatever it may be, only support this club because of that gold trophy, which, by the way, 2 days ago was exactly 18 years to the day that we beat Leicester and went invincible, right? 18 years later, you got Martin Keown getting absolutely roasted by Simon Jordan, right, for being a cheerleader, sitting there going, it's the biggest North London derby in living memory. This is a guy that has won titles for Arsenal Football Club saying this, mate. You've got Ian Wright. Yeah, and by the way, he'll be wheeling out the new shirt on Sunday because we're wearing next year's shirt on Sunday against Everton. Yeah, and they did that as a market employee because they thought we had top 4 sealed. So they thought, oh, we'll drop next year's shirt, yeah, and we'll use it against Everton. Everyone will run in the club shop. But guess what? It don't matter if we finish 5th because that's an overachievement.
yeah, with a young squad. So everyone are running by it anyway. But Ian Wright will be wheeled out to promote it.
Well, within 10 days, this is the thing. Look, as we say, look,
we were 4 games. Yeah, we were 4 points clear with 3 games to go. We were 6 points clear of Tottenham with a game in hand at one point.
Mate, it's crazy how it fell off the way.
I've had that manager 6 months, Terry. Yeah, with a striker who don't want to be there, with Son that was injured.
I totally agree.
Yeah, Kulusevski had just come and landed in the country a couple of months. In fact, Kulusevski first ball for Tottenham until the 19th of February. He's got more goal contributions than the creative spark Martin Odegaard. How is that possible? Because all I hear is Tottenham is trash, Tottenham are rubbish, Tottenham are crap. They're irrelevant. So why did top gooners then, that have been saying they're irrelevant, have sleepless nights and have goosebumps for the North London derby if they're irrelevant? How?
Yeah. Listen, I agree with you on that. Do you think, though, is that it now for Arteta? With Ten Hag joining Man United, with Antonio Conte at Tottenham, Tuchel, Klopp and Pep doing
he's the worst manager in the top 6. In fact, he's actually the worst manager in the top 7 if you include Moyes, because Moyes is better than him. Look at Moyes' squad. Look at the funds that Moyes has had. Look at what he's done. I know he's not won anything, but look at what he's done with a shit squad. Now give David Moyes the squad we had, we would have been top 4. Yeah, I've got no qualms with that. No European football. If David Moyes was our manager this season, we would have got top 4 already. Yeah, it would have been wrapped up. And this is the thing. People can sit there and say it's an overachievement. If we had beaten one of Southampton, Brighton or Palace, we would have already sealed it up anyway. Yeah, it would have already been done and dusted. Yeah.
Mate, do you know, it's mad. And I do think he's he's young, and I get that for Arteta. But I just, listen, I want Man United.
Done. Look at what Potter's done, 34%. Yeah, you said 34%, yeah?
Bro, I get that. My point is I get that he's young, but irrespective of that, that's a decision that Arsenal Football Club are making, the owners that you're backing. Everyone who buys a ticket, everyone who buys merchandise, everyone who buys a shirt, you're backing the owners, you're backing the club. And you have to look at the fact that top-class managers will win their clubs an extra 12 to 15 points a year. Now, we don't know how good Erik Ten Hag is going to be. We haven't seen his team kick a ball in England yet. If it works, even to a 80% degree, Arsenal are not going to finish in front of Man United next year. If Antonio Conte is given the players he wants this summer, and it feels like he's going to, and Harry Kane and Son stay, which it looks like they're going to, Arsenal will not finish in front of an Antonio Conte team with quality in it in the Premier League. You've then got Tuchel, who, by the way, Chelsea have had an awful year in the league by how it started, and they've had all this turmoil going on. But their new owners will spend big this summer. It's pretty clear that's going to happen. They are not finishing in front of Chelsea next year. And of course, we're just not even mentioned Liverpool and Man City. So I look at it next year and I think you guys are going to have the most tremendous summer. And Arteta has got to fix them. The most important thing being missed here. Listen, you can have good structure in games. Your defending from corners has been largely good this year. You've had some great moments where the footballs look brilliant. There is no doubt. And I've watched shows where people have broke down the tactics, and we've looked.
Yeah, our defending from corners was great until the super fans started bigging up the defensive coach, and then we conceded 3 in a row.
Well, let me just say. So I've watched the shows, the tactical breakdown shows. You know, the players.
They're tactically astute. Tell they're not on Sky Sports yet. Do you know what I mean?
Let me cook this. I've seen the tactical shows where they've broken down and shown me how Odegaard drifts in between the lines and the angles of the diagonal runs from Martinelli and Saka and how it pulls in fullbacks and creates room for the overlapping fullbacks. And I understand with Eddie and Nketiah dropping deep and the space that allows for Smith Rowe to run into when he cuts in. I've listened to everything. And all these things, I've seen the video evidence. These things are happening. The one thing that Arteta hasn't addressed yet, which I know for a fact that Conte, Tuchel, Klopp and Pep will, and Arsenal fans have got a hope that Erik Ten Hag doesn't do this, is he hasn't addressed the mentality issue. 3 times this year, Arsenal Football Club have been looked at as the favourites to take that 4th Champions League spot. Just before they played Manchester United at Old Trafford in November, just before that run of 4 defeats in 5 games, starting with Liverpool, and just before these last 2 games. And each of those moments, a lot of people went, looking at everybody else's form and all things being equal, I think they're the favourites. And each time, they've crumbled and crumbled hard. And that's why the summer needs to be more experienced players and more pressure needs to be put upon.
But then that goes away from youth project.
Well, again, and it may
they
do.
can't dress it up as a youth project, so now they've got to go and buy the young players again.
Youth projects are nonsense without elder statesmen around them, because in the history of football, in the
why
history
has everyone been backing it then, Tell?
Because we know why. Because
it's fashionable.
They're drinking the Kool-Aid, and I get that, and that's the element that needs to be challenged.
But then I'm negative.
Mate, listen,
I call that out.
I get that, bro. I get that. My view is very much this. Like, you've got Ten Hag coming in, Conte saying, you've also got to look at Newcastle. Newcastle, Eddie Howe, the way they're playing football, if they sign 4 or 5 more Brunos, and I'm talking players of his level in different positions before any weirdo says, well, why do they need 5 more central midfielders? If they find
with Joel Linton, by the way.
Bruv, Joel Linton. Do you know who he reminds me of? When Fellaini was younger at Everton, he looked really good. He reminds me of that, bruv.
That's a shout. That is a shout.
And a lot of people remember Fellaini at Man United, where they tried turning it into more of a footballer. Fellaini at Everton, in that midfield role, and then dropping near a 10 position when the ball was, obviously they went a bit more long ball at Everton. They actually played nice football at Newcastle, but he's been excellent. But look, he's getting out of them. You throw in 4 or 5 more players. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle went out and signed the Neveses and the Basumas of this league, and players like that.
They'll go and get a Jesse Lingard on a free or someone like that.
And he'll do bits. And I look at Arsenal next year, and I'm not saying Gunners should panic right now. I'm saying they should be holding their club to account, because of the emergence of Newcastle, Ten Hag being there, Antonio Conte coming in, and of course, there's no like Leicester and Aston Villa could be better next year. It's going to be hard for us. I think missing out on the Champions League this year. And that's why there's all this gutted nature. That is why there was tears last night from Arsenal fans, because they know in their heart of hearts, I think they don't believe that their manager is good enough to reach the end goal.
And they know that somebody like me, who ain't going to get bullied, Terry, and is just going to say it and shoot from the hip, they cannot suppress me. They cannot silence me. And they know that deep down I'm right. But that's the only way they can get traction. Yeah, that's the only way they can get clout. It's the only way they can get likes and retweets and views is by being super toxic positive. I say what I want. Last night, I'll be honest with you, yeah? Right, and people can't grasp this mentality of wanting your team to lose and lose big. Yeah, when Tottenham went 3-0, I'm sitting there going, make it 5, make it 6. Tottenham took the foot off the gas. Yeah, they took Son off, they took other players off, yeah? Newcastle last night, when it was 1-0, Pepe come on. I was like, Agent Pepe, he's come off the bench after being sat there 6 months. Yeah, he played him clean through on goal. I'm going, go on, away the lads, here, why aye? Come on, aye, it's Mintina. Yeah, come on, you Geordie fuckers. Yeah, I'm like, come on, cheering on Newcastle, come on. When it went 2-0, I started laughing. I was like, come on, yes, we're in. Yeah, because people don't grasp the concept that when you don't like something and when you don't like the manager and you can see already into what is going to happen, which I did 2.5, 3 years ago, that I knew he'd kill this club further than it's already dead because of Arsene Wenger, yeah, and the 2 generations that have absolutely latched onto this club, which, by the way, latched onto it because of a gold trophy, right? Now don't want to win, and now it's a youth project, and it's progress. And no, it ain't. You're chatting shit for likes. Yeah, they don't believe what they're saying. So when they see somebody like me sitting there going, yeah, come on, Newcastle. We all Newcastle tonight. I put it on my Instagram. Yeah, how are the lads? We all Newcastle tonight. Yeah, we all Palace tonight. We all Spurs, like we all this, we all that. Oh, you're fake. I swear this guy's not an Arsenal fan. No, actually understand and engage your brains, mate. I know it's difficult, yeah, but engage your brains. This manager is not going to win us a title. Most people will accept that. So if you're accepting that he won't win us a title, why are you backing him? Because the aim is to go and win the title. Yeah? But then they go, oh, but it's a process. Okay, cool. Well, is Tottenham not a process then with Conte? Is Klopp not a process? Is Pep not a process? Yeah? The aim is to go and win and compete and close the gap and go and challenge for that title. So if they genuinely, which they do, yeah, the majority of them will accept that this guy will not win us a title. So what is the point of him being here? Why when Conte was available, did we not phone up his agent and say, yo, if you're going to that lot, mate, you're coming to us? Why didn't we do that? Because of this fan base all over social media, which the social media team at Arsenal will look and tap into and go, they're happy with Arteta, mate. There's a banner at the ground saying he's the best looking Spaniard we know. Why is that in the ground?
What's looks got to do with his performances?
Mate, I totally get where you're coming from. And look, Jezza here says, how long did it take Sir Alex Ferguson? So why can't he be...
dear, oh dear, oh dear. Mate, go and watch Julian, mate, because you're a Julian fan. Let me respond.
No, I need to respond to it because education.
No.
So Sir Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson had already won league titles and a major European trophy before he was a Man United manager. Plus, in fact, let me tell you what he won. He won 3 league titles when the Scottish League was a powerhouse league.
One was St Mirren, by the way.
Yeah. So in fact, we just do that again. So he won the first division with St Mirren. 3 Scottish Premier Leagues when the Scottish football was brilliant. He won 4 of Scotland's FA Cups, okay? And he won the European Cup Winners' Cup and the European Super Cup with Aberdeen, right?
This guy, Jezza Lowdy, yeah? Go and type into YouTube, Alec Ferguson reaction, Aberdeen versus Rangers. When he won the cup, the Scottish Cup against Glasgow Rangers as Aberdeen manager, and they said, you must be absolutely over the moon today, Sir Alec Ferguson. And he went, that was a disgusting performance, pal. How dare they go out? That is not the standards we've set for Aberdeen. He's just won the cup.
I agree, for standards high. So before he even was,
man, go and watch Julian,
bro. Let me just get this out. Sorry. Before he was a Man United manager, 4 league titles, 4 FA Cups, and 2 European trophies. Okay. When he became the Man United manager, United were in a mess.
We're dusted.
The fallacy is this: in his second season, he actually finished second in the league. So top 4 didn't exist back then, but second season he finished second. He finished second in the league. So just try and put this in context of Arsenal. Equally, within 3 years he won the FA Cup. Within 4 years he won a major European trophy and the Super Cup. So yes, it took him until 1992-93 to win his first league title, but he still won trophies on the way there, improved the squad. But what he built, and it was different.
And had a track record of winning before he went to United.
He did. One thing that's different, and this is what people don't understand about the context, history, but it's not even that, it's lack of education, is managers back in the 80s and 90s run the club. They weren't like managers now that are essentially head coaches that give opinions and ask for things to directors of football and boards. The manager run the club. So Fergie went into Man United and overhauled everything top to bottom himself. It's the comparisons to Sir Alex Ferguson. Please stop embarrassing yourself, because there isn't a comparison. It isn't a comparison. Terry, please play the clip I put in the chat exposing Lee not wanting Arsenal to lose. I
know what clip he's on about. Yeah, big ups to him. Yeah, he's on about a clip under Unai Emery. That's because I rated Unai Emery, mate. Yeah, yeah. What's your point? Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Hazard Bamford, yeah? Do you think Mikel Arteta, and put super chat it, put it as a normal comment, do what you got to do. Do you think Unai Emery, number 1 question, yeah? I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Do you think Unai Emery will win us a league title? Yeah. Number 2, if Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp quit the jobs today at Liverpool and City and go on Sky Sports and say, we want the Arsenal job, would you sack Arteta for either of them? Put both of them the answers to them questions in the comments, mate. Yeah, let's see how much of a top Arteta fan you are now. Yeah,
I hear you on that. Comment here says Arteta will win a league in 5 years. This is talk. He might win the championship or something. Yeah,
based on what? Based on hope.
Don't hate my super Arteta. Laughing emojis. I want Arteta at Arsenal for the next 10 years. Otherwise, the Premier League will be boring. Cheers, lads, is what's been said there.
Speaking
of not being boring, I know we played it. We put this out earlier on today on the fan channel reaction, but this was the intro. I don't know if you've seen it, Lee. Check this out.
I know you don't care for me. Please listen carefully. If you care for Arsenal FC, I beg you leave my club. Please leave our club.
We've got Super Mick Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. Tierney at the back, Gabby in attack. We're on our way to, the Europa League. You absolute bent backwards fucks.
It's about your fan base. It's about the Tottenham fan base.
Come outside, Tottenham fans! Where are you? 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 Please, I know you don't care.
Yeah, that was
Did you make that yourself?
So the guy, I chatted to the guy, the singer, and he made that a little while ago, and I'm like, I'm going to feature it, and I made it. Now, just a little intro to the show earlier today. I thought you'd like it. With you sort of doing your song with him singing in the background, I thought it sounded quite nice.
Isn't it? Mate, when I sat there in my dressing gown, yeah, that's how you know it was a while ago, because it's been nice and sunny ever since. Yeah. But that must have been, I think that was when we lost the last the 3 games in a row. I think that was maybe the Palace game. Palace or Brighton, one of them 2 games. Yeah, that's how long ago that was. And it's like, mate, seriously, yeah. And it ain't even Martin, it ain't even Gabby in attack. Gabby in the back should have been in attack. We're on the way to Europa League, because Gabby was playing left back the other day.
Bro, it just is what it is. In terms of, I mean, I know there's no point asking you what do you want to happen next, because
no, ask me, because people get confused all the time. They go, what do you want? What do you want?
So what do you want, Lee? What do you want next?
What do I want next? Sack the manager now, tonight, right now. Yeah, sack him. Sack all of his backroom staff. Yeah, sack Edu. Sack Vinay Venkesham. Yeah, because I say something. Yeah, Ivan Gazidis used to get a rough ride from our fans. That guy is a clown. And by the way, Ivan Gazidis is about to win a title with AC Milan. Funny how everyone leaves and does better, innit? Bellerin, Saliba got young player of the season in France. Aubameyang smashing it. Doozy smashing it. Torreira's getting player of the month in Italy. Pablo Mari's doing well. Mavropanos is smashing it. No, amazing how all these players and people leave. So get rid of him. Get rid of all the hierarchy. The owners ain't going nowhere. Yeah, but at the same time, the owners are only serving up what the fans want. So sack 95% of the fans as well. You can all fuck off and support Burnley.
Sack fans.
No, Terry. If you ask all of these people that are in this chat that are Arsenal fans, why do you support Arsenal? The majority of them will say, if they're being completely honest, which they probably won't, but if they're being completely honest, because of Arsene Wenger, Thierry Henry, and that gold trophy, right? So they support our club based on a title-winning team, right? Fast forward 18 years and 2 days since we went invincible. What's changed? PR. Get rid of Ian Wright. Get rid of Ray Parlour. Get rid of Martin Keown. Get rid of Lee Dixon. Get rid of all the other puppets that are sitting there spouting absolute nonsense, yeah, about this football club, when all of them have been winners at this football club to the highest standards. Stop them talking about Arsenal. Get them on TalkSport and talk about Tottenham or talk about Man U. Don't get them on to talk about Arsenal. Yeah? Get them on to talk about someone else. Yeah? And then go and employ a proper manager. We're obviously kind of snookered now because there's not many proper managers about now, because we've missed out on Pep, missed out on Klopp, missed out on Conte, missed out on Ten Hag, missed out on Tuchel. There's 5 straight away. But go and throw as much money as it takes at Don Simeone. But then this lot in the chat go, oh, but he's crap. It's boring football. No, it's winning football, mate. Until Real Madrid won the league 2 weeks ago, he was the current champion of La Liga. Yeah? Go and have a look at his record as a manager. If you ever think that Arteta is ever going to achieve in management what he has achieved in management, you're mad. Yeah? Failing that, if you want to go down the spectrum a little bit, go and employ Potter. Yeah, if we're not going to go and win the title, and we're not going to actually have a go at it, at least we'll play some sexy football, innit?
Bro, I hear you on that completely. I do, and I think that there's a lot of things I hear your points, and I think there's a lot that needs to be addressed this summer by Arsenal. Per here says, told you for 2 years this fan base deserves Arteta. Ollie 2.0, raise the standards and replace him. They are not journalists. They are propaganda machines for the club, both them and 90% of the fan base. Tyre here says, Terry, I said this earlier this season. Arsenal are only in this fortunate position in Europe due to how poor United, Spurs and Leicester have been. A lot of people...
Spurs were above us.
A lot of people...
How many points are United behind us?
9, to be fair. Quite a few. Don't hate. Oh, sorry, I already had that one there. Arteta will win the league in 5 years. Joshua says you forgot a detail in that final, Terry. He won it against Real Madrid in the word of Chris Jericho, don't ever compare Mick to the GOAT. And that's also true. Yeah, like Aberdeen beating Real Madrid in a major cup final. It's crazy. We'll go to Jez's in a minute. Someone here says, Terry with that video copying Skullduggery. Now, let me just say, Skullduggery's videos are hilarious.
Skullduggery, by the way. That guy's the best editor on YouTube, mate.
He's out of this world.
Football YouTube is the best.
He's out of this world. Let me just say this now. I've been making meme type videos at the front of fan channel review videos for over 3 years. So just hold off with the copying thing. Just because you may not have seen them before doesn't mean that and I'm not copying him. Do you know why I'm not copying him? Because the man is levels, bro. But what he didn't invent was people making meme videos. I just want to put that out there for some of you weirdos out there that see something similar and go, oh, do you know what I mean? But by that logic, we're all copying Ricky Gervais because we're all doing podcasts now. Just slow it down. slow your hate down, my friend, because no one copies anyone.
Exactly.
How can any fan want the team to lose? 8th place finished last year, and if we don't count first 3 games,
why are we not counting the first 3 games? Let me stop him there before you carry on. Why are we not counting the first 3 games? Why are we not counting the first 3 games? Oh, because he didn't have his players. Well, he didn't have his players when he won the FA Cup. You count that though, didn't you? Yeah. Come on, this is bullshit, Terry.
I hear that.
If that. How about he ain't good enough?
Lee, I get that. My point to a lot of these people is, though, they've got to understand why people want their team to lose. Because
I'll explain that comfortably. Yeah, that is so easy to explain. But most of these people, yeah, don't engage their brain properly. And that's with all due respect, yeah, they don't. Right, so I do not rate this manager. This manager has lost 32 games out of 95 Premier League games. Was it 95? It was 90 something, wasn't it? He's lost 32. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp has had 260 odd games and lost 34. Jurgen Klopp inherited a dross team. Jurgen Klopp finished 8th in his first season. Jurgen Klopp then got rid of Coutinho and went and bought a proper centre back, not Ben White. Yeah, he then went and bought a proper goalkeeper. Yeah, we're still jury's out on whether this is a proper goalkeeper, for me anyway. Yeah, he's been brilliant player of the season. Next season, we'll see what he's made of, right? But for me, the easiest way for my football club to actually have some levels and some standards and actually do what it said, it was smashing a beautiful stadium down that none of these people have ever been to, which I've been lucky enough to go to multiple times, including Invincible season, by the way. Yeah, at the Middlesbrough game, the 5-3, I was there. You could hear a pin drop when Kadru scored to make it 3-1. Yeah, these people do not understand, Terry, right? The easiest way to raise the standards of this club and hold this club accountable is to get this manager out of the football club and actually put the standards back and hold the club accountable to what they told me in 2002 they were knocking that stadium down for, right? So, Unai Emery, yeah, cool, the guy weren't it. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I take him back now. I take him back as soon as Arteta got offered the job. So for me, smash every week. Yeah, because then more people will start snowballing it and going, actually, Arteta out, get him out. Empty stadium, bang, you're sacked. Yeah. Now, then you focus on the hierarchy. We had an opportunity as a fan base this season for the Chelsea at home, but instead, oh, look at me, I'm back at my second home. Oh, full attendance. Well, why weren't you protesting? You're in the club shop. And then Lukaku scores his first Premier League goal for Chelsea. Yeah. And you lot all going, oh, well, you know, oh, yeah, but we just see the team. It's the first time. You lot are the reason this football club is finished. Because if you hold the club accountable for what it said it was going to do, which you weren't probably alive to see, or if you was a kid, yeah, and you actually understand the history, which none of you bother to learn, then you would understand that we smashed that stadium down when we were one of the best teams in the world to go and compete for Champions League trophies, to compete for Premier League trophies. Now, fast forward, yeah, to today, right now, it's, oh, yeah, but under this ownership, well, you've been backing this ownership for 2.5 years because you've been backing the manager.
Yeah, and I had this conversation with a few gooners the other week. It's like, if you're excited about everything that's happening, you can't question the ownership, as in they're terrible owners at the same time. It doesn't make sense. You're absolutely right. Nav here says Arsenal is like England. They get piped, they pipe up, etc., when then when it don't happen, they ain't got the tools from all the training vids, etc. This and that. When pressure is on them, I get what you're saying. Like, like England.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
If Jack Wilshere was older, he'd be the manager. I bet is what Cool Guy says here.
Hey, how come Steve Bolton didn't get the job? He sat next to Arsene Wenger for 6 years.
Wow.
Does anyone know who the assistant at Man City is right now?
No,
and I'm sure Patrick Vieira was on the coaching staff or the assistant or whatever at Man City. Why didn't he get the job?
He had a job somewhere at the City structure. Absolutely. The only thing Arsenal can win is the Oscars for their documentary. Who was better in their prime, Rooney or Benzema?
Benzema, ain't even a doubt. Ain't even a doubt.
I'm not answering the question, Will. I'm backing Rooney. I'm backing Rooney. I'm always backing Rooney. I'm backing Rooney. I'm backing
Benzema.
Rooney. Benzema won no Premier Leagues. How can he be better?
Hey, Rooney won no La Ligas, mate.
This is true. This is true. I support Arsenal because of Super Arteta, is what Nabil
You're a
said.
troll.
Isn't it funny that the worst manager out of Lampard, Ollie, and Arteta has outlasted the rest? Lampard got Champions League football with academy boys and a transfer ban. Well, I saw a tweet last night, made me die, and it said that
it's actually funny because he's right what he's saying, yeah, because both of them got Champions League and Arteta ain't.
Well, they basically said
that. But to be fair, one of them won a trophy, the other two ain't.
Yeah, true. But
and it's all about trophies. So Arteta's better than both of them based on trophies, which is the aim of elite sport.
Someone tweeted it was like Chelsea and Man United lost the debate, the Lampard, Ollie, Arteta debate. The problem is that Arsenal are still losing, or something along those lines. It's very funny what it was written. I'm a young fan. The toxic positivity this generation has is terrible. The older generation failed, not teaching fans the culture of the club like my dad did.
Not me, Kenny or Jez.
Yeah, he's talking in generalistics, and it's very, very true. I mean, a lot of the things about
this is why I called out people like Arsblog, AFTV, all of these top accounts with all their 300,000 followers. They don't educate their followers on the history and traditions of this great club. Yeah, it's all about the here and now and the Manscaped deal. That's it. I'm sorry, mate. I ain't interested in the Manscaped deal. I ain't interested in getting my face on Sky Sports or TalkSport. Yeah, I'm interested in my football club doing what it told me, 20 years ago when they said that they got funding. Peter Hillwood, Sir Peter Hillwood, RIP, said in 2002, we have secured funding from Barclays to build Ashburton Grove, and we're going to compete with the best teams on the planet. 20 years later, go and do it then.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Unless I'm speaking another language, isn't the aim of elite level sport to win? Arteta needs strangling out of this club, of course, metaphorically speaking, let alone just sacking. Arteta has destroyed Arsenal as well as the Cronkies.
To be fair, the Cronkies only play up to what the fans accept.
Arsenal ex-players want to protect their own legacy. United players want their legacy built upon. As a rival, I'm thankful there aren't more Gunners likely.
Yeah, see, that's what he's saying. If 10% of Arsenal fans were like me, we'd be Chelsea. Not even a joke.
Jez here says, name a manager who can be better in this situation than you can't. It's time to rebuild.
Listen, I appreciate you putting all these super chats in that Terry don't pay me for. Yeah, but at the end of the day, right? But name me a manager who could do better in this situation. You can't. Well, I can. Conte. Yeah, Eddie Howe. Yeah, Eddie Howe has done more in 4 months or 5 months since he's been at Newcastle than this guy has in 3 years. Furthermore, Conte's been there 6 months and he's already above us. Right. And apparently, according to people like you, my friend, with all due respect, you think they're worse than us. So how's he above us then? Furthermore, the last thing I'm going to say on this, right, is 250 million quid spent. Look at the squad. People go, yeah, but how can you compete with that squad? No top manager would have brought that squad. They wouldn't have brought that squad.
I hear. Listen, it's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good
by the way, this is my last show, because like fucking, I'm recording all summer till. Yeah, yeah. So
big up to everyone who's watched this live. Yeah, this is the last time I'm live until August, mate. Yeah, so
Well,
like,
there we
cool.
go. And listen, and that's also a good thing because obviously it makes it fresh. Like it makes it fresh. You take a break, you come back. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Nketiah, White, Gabriel are now all huge players because of Arteta. They can win the league. I think this guy's trolling, bro. I think this guy's trolling now. He's gone too far with it. He's definitely a Spurs fan. Do you think that Emery didn't get the backing from the Cronkies because Emery actually stuck it on them?
He wanted he wanted Zaha. Yeah, he wanted Nkunku. He wanted top players. Emery's talent ID, by the way, Martinelli, Guendouzi. But then we get, oh no, it wasn't him. It was Mislintat. Shut up, you weirdos. Yeah, because they don't want to praise Emery for nothing. Yeah, but they'll sit there and pull their pants down and put a banner up and say he's the best looking Spaniard. Turn it in. Yeah, you back your manager for the next 3 years. I don't want to see no Arteta out from any of you lot. Yeah, you back your manager 3 years. You all cheered like a trophy. Yeah, big up Nathan.
I just had the weirdest comment that's come through, and I think this person's having a dig at me, but I don't get it. He says, "Terry, why bring up sponsor deals other content creators have? You mean Manscaped?"
No, he's having a dig at me because I said it.
Yeah.
Why bring it up? I'll tell you why I brought it up. Yeah, because when you're getting paid that, mate. Yeah, you're suddenly filtering your opinions, my friend. Yeah, when you're not getting paid that from a sponsor, you can say what you like. Yeah, simple as.
In fairness, the football series has been sponsored by the Manscaped as well. But yeah,
no, but there's the channel that I mentioned that have gone away from the DT, the Troops, the Lee Gunner, the Kenny Kens. Yeah, the Claude, RIP to him. Yeah, Ginger Chris. Yeah, Bully. Yeah, Mo Hader. Yeah, all of a sudden now. It's drippy little drips, yeah, with all due respect to them. I'm sure they're nice people. Half of them don't need the money, yeah. There's only 3 of them I watch, if that, right? But it's all, oh, let me just go on there. Like that guy that said, we got the best young squad in the world. Turn it in, mate, yeah? It's all about clout. It's all about clout, yeah? And it's all about going down the Sky Sports route. Let me get myself into a media company route rather than actually what you set it up as a fan channel, so everyone can have their opinion. Well, not everyone can they? Because it's the same people every week. Yeah, now you're getting a big sponsorship deal, so now it's maybe not swear so much, maybe not give so much passion, maybe I can say what I want on my channel. Yeah, there's a reason why. If you actually go and have a look at the Tottenham fan cams on that channel, go and have a look at my fan cam on my channel. 1.4 mil compared to 68k. Why is my fan cam outdone 90% of their fan cams? Why? Yeah, why? Yeah, now put me back on that platform. My fan cam on that particular game would have done 1 million views.
Plus, you might get
because I say it as it is. You can only fake being real for so long before people highlight that bullshit, bro.
Plus, you might get a free shaver for your ball bags. So it's
listen, man. I've got the waxes all that for me. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just say, viewers, listen, Lee's entitled to say what he wants. There's no echo chambers on the terrace. It's straight facts. That's his opinion. Tyrone here says, Terry, I am actually quite excited about next season, especially if we do the deal at Norwich in the Champions League. I bet you are, Tyrone. AFTV.
Wouldn't it be funny though if Norwich beat them and then we beat Everton? Hey, I'm in the mud,
mate.
I'm not in the mud. I'm buried in quicksand and concrete.
You'll definitely have to disappear
Especially
there.
where I've given it on this stream.
Absolutely. Julian just bold the lights are on and no one at home. Listen. The entire
Julian can say what he likes. Yeah. But if it's out there on an open media platform, I can say what I want on it. The same as everyone can say what they want on me. Yeah, that guy don't believe what he's saying. He don't need the money. Yeah, it's all for clout. He don't believe what he's saying. You can see in his eyes and what he's saying.
I'll be honest with you though. I find him really funny. I enjoy.
People will find it funny, Terry, because it's so out there that you just know he's chatting bollocks. Come on, that's why people find it funny. Why is he not getting 500,000 views? Because people know it's just a gimmick. Yeah, he's getting 20, 30k. Come on, my fan cams do more than that. And I've got a channel worth 68k. Come on. Because people can see through BS.
I hear you.
It's funny for a while and then it wears off, innit?
I hear you. And viewers, listen, I hear all of you today. I want to thank all the super chats for coming on and having their say. Everyone who's hit the like and the share button means a great deal to us. Make sure you're doing that now, people, before you leave. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Lee, a pleasure to sit and chat as always.
Well, I'm in the mud, mate. I'm in the mud. Look, 27 degrees, mudded.
It's beautiful. We'll be back next season. We'll be back next
I didn't
season.
mean to drop that on you right now, by the way.
That's right, mate. Mate, it's one of them ones. We're busy with the transfer stuff anyway, so it actually makes a lot of sense.
No, do you know what it is, Terry? Yeah, I'm only going to be recording video from Monday onwards. I'm only uploading. Yeah, I am not I'm not live streaming. Nothing. I'm only uploading.
Enjoy the summer.
So, yeah, I'm going to, mate. I'm going to have this not on strings all summer. I'm in the mud.
There we go. Listen, you enjoy yourself, mate, and we'll speak again soon. Until someone said Terry won't be able to profit off Lee. I'm going to be really. I might sound a bit
turn it in, man. Come on, me and Terry are pals, man.
I do all right, irrespective. But Lee shows always amazing.
Terry's got a lot more money than I have, mate. That's for sure.
If what can't speak can't lie. So there we go. Until next time, people. Take care. Goodbye. God bless.